Everyone thought he was gone forever. His funeral was real, his family broken, and Amy's world fell apart. But now Ty is back, alive, breathing, standing in front of her like a ghost turned real. How is this possible? Why did he stay away so long? And most of all, what does this mean for Amy's heart? When Ty Borden walked into Amy's life years ago, everything changed. He wasn't just a stable hand. He became her best friend, her biggest support, and the love of her life. Their journey was never easy, but it was real. They built a life together at Heartland, full of love, family, and dreams. And then suddenly it was gone. Ty's tragic death in season 14 left Amy shattered. Fans cried with her. No one expected him to leave the show so soon, and many struggled to accept his loss. But now, in season 19's shocking new trailer, Ty appears. Not in a dream, not in a flashback, but in the flesh. He's alive. And that single moment has sent waves through the entire Heartland fanbase. For years, people wondered, could Ty still be alive? Was his death faked? Was there a twist coming? It was the kind of hope most fans let go of. But now that he's back, the questions are even bigger. Where has Ty been all these years? Why didn't he return sooner, especially for Amy and Lindy? His sudden reappearance raises more than just excitement. It raises deep emotional confusion for every character, and especially Amy. She cried over his grave. She tried to move on. And just as she began to heal, he walks through the door. This isn't just a happy reunion. It's a storm of emotions: shock, anger, love, guilt, and fear all rolled into one. And what about the family? Jack, Lou, Tim, all of them had made peace with Ty's death in different ways. Some buried their grief. Others kept the pain just under the surface. But no one expected him to come back. Will Jack embrace him again? Will Lou forgive the silence? And will Lindy even recognize the man who once held her as a baby? The return of Ty doesn't just bring back memories. It changes the present. Everything Amy built without him, her routines, her parenting, her slow steps toward peace, could be shaken. This is not just about love returning. It's about life flipping upside down. Because when someone comes back from the dead, nothing stays the same. Now, with Ty standing at the gates of Heartland, the next chapter begins. And it's going to test every bond, every promise, and every heart. She was finally learning how to smile without breaking. Her heart, once in pieces, had started to beat steady again. Amy didn't forget Ty, but she found a way to live without him. And just when peace felt possible, he returned. Now, everything she rebuilt may come crashing down. After Ty's death, Amy fell into a silence no one could fix. Not even Jack's wisdom, Lou's support, or Tim's strength could reach her. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost a piece of herself. Every inch of Heartland reminded her of him. The barn, the pastures, the sound of hoofbeats. It wasn't just pain. It was a memory she had to face every single day. But slowly, Amy learned to live again. She turned her heartbreak into quiet strength. She focused on Lindy, her little girl, who reminded her of Ty's gentleness and courage. Working with horses helped too. Healing animals felt like healing herself. Fans watched Amy grow, not by forgetting Ty, but by honoring what he meant to her. Then came Nathan. He didn't try to replace Ty. He never rushed Amy or made demands. He showed up with calm support, a kind heart, and quiet patience. He helped with the horses, helped with Lindy, and eventually helped with the heavy silence that followed Ty's death. Amy didn't plan to open her heart again, but Nathan made it feel safe to breathe, safe to laugh, safe to feel something new. By the end of season 18, Amy was not in love, but she was somewhere close to it. There was a warmth between her and Nathan, a look, a long pause, a promise not yet spoken but gently understood. It was soft, fragile, and real. Viewers began asking, could Amy truly move forward? Now Ty is back, and with him returns everything Amy thought she had buried. The love of her life, the father of her child, the man she swore to stand beside forever. But also the hurt, the confusion, the fear. How is she supposed to react? Run into his arms? Or protect the new life she worked so hard to build? Amy isn't the same woman Ty left behind. She's stronger, quieter, and more guarded. Her love hasn't disappeared, but her pain has shaped her into someone new. And Ty's return doesn't erase the years she spent surviving without him. His return is a blessing, but it's also a burden. Now Amy faces a storm inside her heart. One man is her past deep, wild, unforgettable. The other is her present steady, healing, safe. Can she choose one without destroying the other? Or is she about to lose both? The peace she earned is now trembling, and the hardest part is no one can make the choice for her. Nathan didn't arrive at Heartland to steal hearts. He wasn't a flashy character or a fast talker. In fact, most people barely noticed him at first. He kept to himself, worked hard with the horses, and never crossed personal lines. But behind his calm presence was something rare: patience. And that was exactly what Amy needed. He didn't try to fix her. He didn't say, "Move on." He stood nearby when she needed company. He helped with chores when she was tired. He played with Lindy without trying to take Ty's place. In many ways, Nathan acted like someone who respected every piece of Amy's past. He never competed with her memories. He just waited to become a part of her present. Over time, Amy's walls started to soften. There were moments of shared coffee, a quiet ride, a hand brushing hers that told a story without words. Nathan gave Amy space to feel like herself again. Not Ty's widow, not a broken heart. Just Amy, a woman, a mother, a partner if she chose to be. Viewers noticed it too. The slow rhythm between them. The way Nathan looked at her when she wasn't watching. He never tried to rush the story. He simply became a safe place for Amy to rest when the weight was too much. By the end of season 18, the silence between them wasn't awkward anymore, it was full of meaning. But now, that silence has been shattered. Ty's return changes Nathan's entire place in Amy's life. Suddenly, he's not the quiet supporter, he's the outsider. The man who came after. The man who might have to step back. And Nathan knows it. He sees the way Amy looks at Ty. He feels the weight of a love story he can't compete with. But Nathan also knows this: he was there when Ty wasn't. He held the space that Ty left behind. He didn't steal Amy's heart. He waited for it. And now, he has to decide. Should he stay and fight for the woman he's come to love? Or walk away before it breaks him? The pain on Nathan's face will be different from Amy's. He's not returning from death. He's standing in front of it, watching something he hoped for slip away. And still, he might choose grace. Because that's who Nathan is. He didn't chase Amy to win her. He stayed close because she mattered. Now, his heart is on the line. And Amy might not even realize how much she's about to lose when Ty disappeared from Amy's life. Everyone believed it was the end. His death was not just sudden, it was heartbreaking. The grief was deep because it felt final. But now, with Ty standing alive in season 19, everything has changed. One question sits heavy on every heart. Why did he stay away for so long? No one vanishes without a reason. Ty wasn't just a husband and father, he was a man of purpose, deeply connected to his family. For him to walk away and let Amy and Lindy live through his death would take something extreme. So what really happened? Was he in danger? Was he forced to hide? Or is there something even darker beneath the surface? Fans have started forming theories. Some believe Ty was part of a secret government or a witness protection program. Maybe he saw something dangerous during his time working with wildlife or in his past with wolves and poaching groups. Maybe he was protecting Amy and Lindy by faking his death. Others suggest he might have been injured and lost his memory, living under a different identity until it returned. These are not just fantasy ideas, they come from a place of desperation. People want to believe that Ty didn't leave Amy by choice. Still, there's a colder possibility. What if Ty left by choice? What if something in him broke, and he believed Amy and Lindy were better off without him? Maybe he thought his return would bring more pain than comfort. If that's true, then his reappearance isn't just shocking, it's terrifying. Because that would mean the Ty who came back isn't just a survivor, he's a man carrying unbearable guilt. The mystery also creates a problem for Amy. She needs answers, but what if those answers hurt more than the silence? What if Ty was out there all along and chose not to return until now? That question can create cracks even deeper than the grief she once felt. Trust is hard to rebuild, even when love is still there. And Lindy, she was a baby when Ty died. She doesn't know the man standing in front of her. For her, Nathan has been more present. Ty might be her father by blood, but what does that mean after years of absence? How will she react when a stranger calls her my daughter. Ty will have to earn more than forgiveness, he'll have to earn his place again. Jack and Lou will also have their questions. Jack, who took on the role of guiding Amy and Lindy. Lou, who became fiercely protective of her sister's peace. They're not just going to celebrate Ty's return, they'll want to know where he's been, what he's hiding, and whether Amy is truly safe. This is not just a romantic twist. It's a story of trust, pain, and consequence. Ty's disappearance left deep wounds. His return may heal them, but not without leaving scars. There are moments when the heart doesn't know what to feel. For Amy, this is that moment. She once lived in a world where Ty was everything, her first love, her partner, the father of her child. She lived through the pain of losing him, and now she faces something even harder, living with him again. For so long, Amy kept her heart locked away. Every piece of her love for Ty had been placed into memory, tender, sacred, and untouched. That love never died. It became part of her. She raised Lindy with stories about him, with kindness he once showed, and with the strength he left behind. And now, that very man her once lost love is here, standing in front of her, breathing the same air, calling her name like time never passed. But time has passed. Amy has changed. She had to. She became a mother on her own. She carried the weight of running Heartland, protecting Lindy, and keeping her own emotions from breaking her apart. She found ways to laugh again. She built something steady with Nathan, maybe not as fiery as what she had with Ty, but stable, kind, real. And now, she stands between the love she lost and the life she built. Part of her wants to fall into Ty's arms, to forget the years of pain, to believe in the impossible, that love can come back from the dead and pick up where it left off. But the other part of her remembers the tears, the cold nights, the fear, the anger. She remembers learning how to be whole without him. She remembers Nathan. Nathan may not be Ty. He didn't come with the history or wild romance, but he came with something Ty never had: to give love without expectation. Nathan didn't have to compete with ghosts. He simply stood still and let Amy come closer when she was ready. That kind of quiet love doesn't scream, but it stays. Now, every moment Amy spends near Ty is tangled. His voice pulls her back. His eyes remind her of promises made long ago. But then there's the guilt. What about Nathan? What about Lindy's new normal? What if choosing Ty means tearing down everything she worked so hard to rebuild? Even more terrifying, what if she chooses neither? Because deep inside, Amy knows something no one else can understand. She's not the same woman Ty once loved. And he's not the same man. Time didn't freeze. It moved on. With or without them. Can they truly fit together again? Or are they both chasing a memory? This isn't just about choosing between two men. It's about choosing between two versions of herself, the one who lived in love and the one who learned to survive. And no matter what Amy chooses, someone will get hurt. And maybe she will too. Nathan knew Amy's heart was fragile when he first met her. He never asked for it. He never pushed. He simply stood by her side, day after day, helping her breathe again. And now, when he's finally grown close enough to touch that heart, Ty returns. Nathan is left in a place no one deserves to be. The quiet man in the background, watching the woman he cares for get torn between two lives. He doesn't say much. That's Nathan's way. He's never been one to demand attention or chase after things that don't belong to him. But this time, it's different. Amy does belong to him, if only a little. She may not have spoken it out loud, but her actions did. The way she leaned on him when she felt tired. The way she smiled at his quiet jokes. The way she didn't stop him when he stood a little too close. These weren't just moments, they were beginnings. Now, those beginnings are threatened. Because how do you compete with a legend? Ty isn't just a man to Amy, he's a symbol of first love, of shared dreams, of a life stolen too soon. Nathan knows this. And he also knows that even if Amy loves him back, part of her will always look at Ty with a heart that remembers. So what does Nathan do now? He could walk away, save himself the pain, let Amy go and pretend it never hurt. It would be easier. No need for angry words or messy emotions. Just a clean exit. But Nathan's not that kind of man. He doesn't love like that. When he gives his heart, he stays even when it breaks. Or maybe he could fight. Tell Amy exactly what she means to him. remind her of the nights they spent watching Lindy play, of how they worked side by side rebuilding fences, training horses, and slowly building something strong and quiet. Maybe he could say it now, what he's always held back. I love you, but even that feels dangerous. Because what if Amy hears those words and still turns back to Ty? Then there's the hardest choice of all. Waiting. Waiting to see who Amy becomes in this storm. Waiting to see if her heart comes back to him on its own. No pressure, no guilt, just faith. It's the kind of patience only a strong man has. And Nathan might be that strong. But even strong men can only wait so long before the silence becomes too loud. This love triangle isn't about who's better. It's about who's willing to hold on, even when they're already losing. Nathan is standing at the edge of heartbreak. But whether he walks away, steps forward, or simply stands still, his next move could decide everything. And deep down, he knows no matter what he chooses, the pain is coming. No matter what Amy chooses, the world she knew is already gone. The life she rebuilt after Ty's death can't stay untouched now that he's back. And the man who helped her survive that pain, Nathan, may never be the same again. This isn't just the start of a new chapter. It's the tearing apart of two timelines, crashing into each other, forcing everyone to choose what comes next. There's no easy ending here. If Amy follows her heart back to Ty, it won't be as simple as picking up where they left off. The trust needs rebuilding. The years lost can't be erased. Ty will have to explain his silence, and Amy will have to face the guilt of even considering someone else. They'll both have to decide if what they had is strong enough to be rebuilt or if it was only perfect because it ended too soon. But if Amy turns toward Nathan, it means closing a door on a love that once defined her. It means telling Ty that the woman he returned for doesn't exist anymore, that she changed, and her heart grew in another direction. And that choice will hurt not just Ty, but everyone who believed in the old love story. It's not a betrayal, it's evolution. But that kind of truth leaves scars. And there's a third path, the one no one talks about. The path where Amy chooses neither. Where she stays with Lindy, alone, healing further, finding herself before giving her heart again. She's been so many things: grieving widow, brave mother, quiet fighter. Maybe now, she becomes something new. A woman who doesn't need to be torn in two. The future is wide open, but also painfully uncertain. What will Jack say when Amy makes her decision? Will Lou stand behind her, no matter the cost? And what about Lindy? Will she understand? Or will the shifting emotions of the adults around her shape her in ways no one can see yet? One thing is clear: Heartland is about to enter its most emotional season yet. Season 19 won't just test the strength of its characters. It will test the hearts of every fan watching, because in the end, this story was never just about horses or even love. It's about healing, about finding light after the darkest night, about learning that sometimes the hardest part isn't losing someone, it's learning to live when they come back. The decision is coming, and once Amy chooses, nothing will ever be the same. Ty's return has changed everything. What was once a story of healing is now a story of conflict, choice, and emotional truth. Amy stands at a crossroads between the man who shaped her past and the one who quietly supported her present. Nathan, Ty, Lindy, the family, every relationship now hangs in the balance. Season 19 promises not just surprises, but deep emotional decisions that could change Heartland forever. What would you choose, first love or newfound peace? This isn't just about romance. It's about identity, trust, and second chances. And only time will tell which heart will break, and which one will finally be whole again.